Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, not much. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Glad to be
Good.
here with you guys.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. So, this has sort of been a long time in the making. I really wanted to talk to you guys before, but my schedule has not been really able to do that. But I'm glad to be here.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
thank you. We're
that's okay. We're super inconsistent, so don't worry about it. Our schedule is not very flexible because we're just so up and down with it.
Right. Well, yeah, I wanted to share some stories with you guys. I don't know if that's okay. You guys can, do whatever. Um, I just wanted to know, like, is that okay if I start off with some stories first, that I have that are personal
yeah,
that I've
sure. How
encountered?
how long are they?
They're not very long.
Okay. Yeah.
They're probably at most like 5 minutes each, if that.
Okay, that's fine.
Um,
Go ahead.
okay. So the first one happened to me and my brother when we were like five or, well, he's older than me by 2 years, so 5 and 7, I would say.
Okay.
Um, my grandma used to have this flower shop back in Nebraska.
hmm
Um, and it was built off of this old brick apartment building complex. So it was like just 2 stories, but there used to be apartments above her whatever her business.
Yeah.
Um, and it sort of is just like storage space up there. It's really dusty. Nobody really goes up there. And there's steps in the back of her shop that lead up to that like attic place, but no one really goes there that often. So they're sort of like in the back corner, sort of, decrepit. And so we were going. Me and my brother were just messing around the flower shop because she'd let us screw around the back when customers would come in. And we heard this like I don't know, like I forget who heard it first, but we heard this like tapping sound, like something was upstairs,
Hmm.
No.
and we knew that nothing was supposed to be up there because literally it's my grandma's shop. There's nothing supposed to be up there. It's all just vacant. And we were like, "Whoa, did you hear that?" And we're like, "Yeah." So me and my brother walk towards the stairs, and we look up, and it's weird because light can come in, but only through from one window,
Uh-huh.
and it's all the way in the back. And so it basically illuminates from whatever is in the back towards the stairs,
Uh-huh.
but not anything else. Yeah.
Oh.
And so we look up the stairs and we don't really recognize it first. We just see the light cast onto the wall, but then we start to notice that there's a face in the light
Ah.
looking down at us. And
No.
you can like it's sort of the only way I can like describe it. This is like the Green Goblin from the Spider-Man movie, like the
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Tobey
the
Maguire
Defoe
one.
mask? The Defoe?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like that's what it looks like, and
Oh,
it's really
jeez.
weird. It's really weird because like I can remember it exactly. It had like big teeth, the like long pointed nose. It was just like yellowy, and I don't know. It creeped us out, and so we ran. Like we didn't like stop. Like how some people are like we had to stare down and blah blah blah.
Sure, sure.
No, we were like no, we're just gonna
Yeah.
get out of here.
Okay.
So we ran and we told my grandma. She went upstairs and she didn't see anything, of course. And I was like, what? No, like there's something. Ugh, I don't know. Creepy.
Oh my god. Oh.
And yeah, yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, I've taken it in.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
really excited.
No, that's okay. And that's
uh,
where that story ends, right?
yes, yes. So
So
she went upstairs and checked, and there's nothing.
and okay, so this place um
Yes.
okay, hang on. Okay, we'll go story by story here. So this place, how long was this place in your life? Like, is this still a building that is still in your life, or is it like?
Just last year,
Mhm.
my grandma stopped using this shop.
Okay.
Yeah, she just retired a year ago,
Now let,
so we don't see it anymore.
let me ask you this. So between all that time ago and current last year, whenever, did anything else happen in there?
Well, I can remember back when we were like, I don't know, even younger, because she would always take us there. My grandma would always like pick us up after school and stuff.
Yeah.
And remember one time I thought I heard her calling for me, and so I went outside to like see, because like here's the setup. You can enter from a side like entrance on the left outside of the building, and you have to step down this like little ramp, and then you're like in the storage room, and
Yeah.
then you take a right, and then you're in the like the workshop, I guess, where like they get all the flowers ready.
Right.
And in that area is where the stairs are. But so I heard her voice coming from outside that back entrance, and so I was like looking around in there, and I was like, I couldn't see anything. And then my grandma uh, entered the shop from the front and was like, and like you couldn't like the distance it takes to get there. She
Yeah.
couldn't have like run around the building, and I don't know why she would prank me like that.
Sure.
But I heard her calling from the back, like Jake, like hey, and I'm like,
Oh man. Oh,
But, yeah.
you know, I've had that happen to me a lot where I hear people call my name
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing there. And this happened in the previous house I lived in many times. And I remember one.
But that house was haunted as shit.
Maybe it was, but I remember being in the house was kind of shaped like a horseshoe, right? Like a semicircle. And
Right.
and one tippy top of the semicircle was the kitchen, and then you go around on the horseshoe and you get to the other end of the horseshoe and it was the bedrooms, right? Anyway, I was in the kitchen and my mom was in the bedrooms, and I thought I heard her call my name. And I went to we both met in the middle. And she says, "What?" And I said, "What?" And I said, "You call my name." And she says, "No, you call my name."
Oh.
And it was just like a weird little moment. And we said, "Oh my God." And later we talked about it. I said, "Now I heard your voice." I said, "Whose voice did you hear?" And she said, "I heard your voice." And I don't think my mom and I sound very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What the heck?
yeah, it was just, and anytime I hear those stories like that, it reminds me of that time. And then people, I've heard so many phantom voice stories, and here's another one you just told me. So, yeah, creepy. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the thing is, I've only had like weird paranormal like experiences on like one side of my family when I'm with them, but like not with my other side. Like my mom's side of the family, they're British, and we actually have history with Billy the Kid and like royal something or other in Britain land. And and anyways, the second story takes place in Nebraska as well, and this is in like my great grandpa. He has a ranch out in Nebraska, in Scottsbluff specifically. And I don't know the acreage or anything, but it's pretty big. He owns like a lot of land. Anyways, when you drive up there, you sort of have to go off onto this dirt road, and it takes like around 10 minutes to get to his house if you're like once you leave the main roads.
Yeah.
And there are some big hills that you dip up and down on, and so it's sort of like really secluded. And his house is backed up against this big rock face, and I don't know if you know Chimney Rock or if you've ever heard of that, but it's really close to Chimney Rock in Scottsbluff. It's like a monument, but anyways, it's weird. They have like a Native American head, sort of like rock that's naturally occurring right above his house, and that's sort of like it's naturally in the rock, and it looks like a Native American head with like the feathers and everything, and it's really cool.
Okay.
But sorry, that's just sort of like to describe the area.
Yeah.
So he has this big porch, and you can look off pretty far and just see rolling plains and like big hills. Well, anyways, one night, this was also around when we were younger. I would say I was probably like 8. My brother was 10, and then I have a younger sister. She's 4 years younger than me, so she was 4. And so we were up on his porch, and it was really late at night. But there's just enough light out. It was like just before the sunset, And he had a whole bunch of binoculars because he has a lot of cattle, and he's like an actual rancher. Yeah. And so we were sitting up there on the porch, and we were looking around, and my sister said, "Hey guys, do you want to like look with the binoculars and see if we can find anything cool out there, like see some of the horses or whatever?" And we were like, "Sure." And so we would each take turns with the two binoculars in between the three of us, and we saw out like along the farthest field. My sister pointed out, she was like, "Hey guys, do you see that in the tree?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And she says, "Look in the tree." And so I was trying to focus and I couldn't really see anything. But then I started not looking for like shapes, but for movement. You know how your eyes sort of like sense that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I look out and I see four like short humanoid shapes moving around under the tree. And I notice one of them, he like jumps up and starts grabbing onto one of the tree branches and starts like swinging around in it, like doing not almost like trapeze stuff in it. And I was like, what? And I showed it to my brother. My brother's like, dude, you gotta let me see. And I was like, not wanting to give him the binoculars. I'm like, no way, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
And so he took a look, and I was like, do you see like scales on it, like on the back, like because it looked to me sort of like they had like a mohawk sort of like shape running down their back in different like all the way down their back, like it was really weird. And we like all saw it, we all were there, we all recognized that. And then it was really creepy because when we were out there on the porch, my brother, he sort of is weird sometimes, he screamed, he was like, "Hey!" And they stopped what they were doing and they got low to the ground and they were looking around.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh no. And so we ran inside and we went to tell my grandpa. And my grandpa came out with my dad and they had their binoculars and they're all like gonna take a look. They're like, all right, whatever. We're like, there are people out there, And they took a look and they didn't see anything like that well. And we were like, no, look at the tree. And my grandpa was like, I'm gonna take a look. Like he was like actually said he saw something, but he didn't want to like say, oh, this is not normal, I don't want to scare the kids.
Right.
He got in his little 4-wheeler deal and drove out there, and we were trying to watch him in the binoculars, but we could only really see his headlights because by this time it was like almost pitch black out there. And as he got closer, we started to hear this sort of like howling, but not like coyotes, because there are coyotes out there, and we know what those sound like. This was sort of like more whale calling ish, like really really distorted. And as he got out there, we saw him stop, and he looked around for a little bit, and then he came back and he said that he didn't see anything. And we were like, okay, that's weird. And as we came back the next day, he said that one of his cattle had mysteriously died because like he obviously has groundhogs that like kill his cattle and whatever. But he said one of his cattle had been like cut open from the side and like just splayed open, and like its organs were like bleh. And obviously he wasn't telling the kids that, he was telling my dad and my uncle. But I was in there listening, and he was saying like, yeah, they gutted it like a fish or something, and I was like, what the heck? And so I was like, ooh, that was weird.
Oh my! How old were you?
I was 8 at the time.
Okay, that's a pretty fantastic story, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna ask you this. I don't mean any offense. Of course. That's true. That happened to you.
That is 100% true.
Okay, because oftentimes we'll get calls. Well, not often. We don't stream often.
Right.
But occasionally we'll get calls, and they'll tell something that's that fantastic. And then they'll be like, and my mom's a reptilian, and hang up. It's like,
no, guys.
Okay.
I promise you that happened to me. And
okay.
I don't have anything that I can really prove besides, I guess, like I could ask my grandma if she has anything that like he reported to, or any like news clippings, because he used to run what was it, like a cattle country, I think they called it.
Right.
He had like a business, and they had to report on like animals that they'd lost to like different things. I can see if I can find if he had any, mysterious.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, if he had any mysterious disappearances of animals, because they have to register it, because they'd use the cows for meat,
Yeah.
and so they had to register if, basically their um, crop or produce, went bad. So yeah, I can take a look at that, but no, that was 100% real, and I know that's very, very fantastical, totally like, oh yeah, this would totally fit into some science fiction movie or like
Yeah.
whatever, but no, that happened to me,
I mean,
and
all I was waiting for was you to be like, and hang up,
no.
Okay, all right, but that's, I mean, that's no
Believe
good.
it, Cup.
That's a tall tale, man. It's a story.
That's no
It
good.
is. It is. Personally, I like to think because I like here's where that I guess moment would come in, but I'm still serious.
Mhm.
I am interested in like cryptids and things, and
Mhm.
I like to believe that that was like a pack of chupacabras that we saw because I've heard reports that chupacabras, like the more like mange dog type,
Yeah.
have made it into like up to New Mexico and Texas even, and that's not super close to Nebraska, but I
Well, I was
can't
gonna
imagine.
say it's quite a stretch from the Southwest to the
Yeah,
North Mid,
yeah.
but
I'm just saying like I would have to believe that like animals can travel pretty crazy distances, Like I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say that's what it was, but um I always like to imagine the fantastical. So
okay. So let's get into let's talk about this one now. Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So you're 8 years old.
Hmm.
Okay. Your grandpa's still alive?
No, actually, he died.
Okay. Well, sorry to
A
hear
couple
that.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that would have been a great uh, interview. Anyway,
Oh yeah, for sure.
so you see these things. You don't see them immediately, but then you see movement in the trees. Then you see them. You see 4 of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, 4 of them. Now, how far away, if you were to guess, were they?
Okay. Um, I'm trying to measure like in my head the car's distance because our car is um like 15 feet long because we had a big old van,
Yeah.
and I would probably say around like 400 or 500 feet out was the distance probably from the porch to the tree,
Okay.
and the hill behind them was probably 600 feet. So
So okay. Okay, so a little more than a football field. Football field and a half.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, that sounds about right.
and when you got these when you had the binoculars on them,
Hmm.
um, did you have a good focus? First of all.
Yeah, so at first we didn't have a very good focus, and that's why it sort of took a while. Because again, it was my 10-year-old brother, my 4-year-old sister, and me. We're little kids. We're not like
Yeah.
experts, and we didn't really have we hadn't used his binoculars a lot,
Yeah.
but we had it out of focus until my sister started to like point those out because she got hers into focus, and so we
Gotcha.
were messing with ours. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so when you got these things into focus, did they fill up the frame, or were they still little dots? Like what was the magnitude of the binoculars?
I don't remember the exact magnitude per se,
Yeah.
but like you know how like if you can cover a person with your thumb,
Yeah.
you can like squish them or whatever with your thumb.
Yep.
I would say it was just between like I mean I know hands are different, but it's like half of a nail. I could see the like that much of their body. I could say.
Now, would that be holding your arm out at full length or up to your eye?
I would say holding your hand like up to your eye. I would say that much.
Okay, so like you could see them pretty well in the
Yeah.
binoculars. Okay,
Hmm.
now, oh, so many questions. Where do I begin? Okay, so, and your brother's still around, right?
Yeah.
Now, have you talked to him about this as older people now? Like,
Yeah.
like,
I actually
I'm sorry.
go
Do
ahead.
you like go up to him and you're like, "Hey, man, Do you remember when we saw the Squatches in the woods? Like,
we saw the tree skin four-leggers
yeah,
that could
yeah.
speak whale.
Well, I do occasionally, because like I don't know, it's sort of like I guess if you saw something, I mean, me personally, it doesn't like always like plague my mind, you know, like it's not like every day I'm
Right.
like, man, but when it does come up, I do go like I actually just asked him probably like I think the last time was around 6 months ago. I went up and asked like, hey, so I just want to confirm like you do remember back when we were kids
Yeah.
and we saw those things in the binoculars, right? And he said, oh yeah. And he actually reminded me of something that I'd forgot, which was when we were looking at him, that thing that was in the tree started to like get in the like he dropped down when he called out. Because I didn't remember that. I just remembered seeing them, but then he's like, don't you remember when? And so I asked my sister, because I wanted to confirm that wasn't just like a made up memory, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh yeah, yeah. I remember that when they dropped down, they like started to, like their heads were moving. It wasn't just like, you know, they dropped down and got like flat and like didn't move. They were like trying to take in their environment and their surroundings and trying to see what happened.
Now, when your grandpa went out there and did whatever he did, and then he came back, did you ever ask him later, years later, or whatever, or I'm sure your grandpa talked to your parents after this happened, right? And,
Yeah.
like, did you ever ask any of them what he had seen, or even him later on, like what it was?
Like that's the thing. I asked my mom and dad,
Yeah.
and they say that they don't remember it. They say that like, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh,
and,
sure, mom and dad, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish I had asked my grandpa, but I never did, and it sort of sucks because you know now that he's dead, I can't. But
yeah.
I think I was just sort of like afraid because. I mean, my grandpa was a good guy. He wouldn't belittle me over that, but I always sort of felt like he would just sort of be all like, "That's nothing. Like, why are you bringing that up? Like, I don't remember." But
yeah,
I guess I'll never know because I didn't ask him. But
does that property still belong to your family out there?
Actually, my grandparents just sold it a couple of years ago, or my great grandparents.
Yeah.
Just because my great grandma moved in with my great grandma, my great grandma moved in with my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, they live in Mitchell now instead of in Scottsbluff. But.
I was gonna say it's Mountain Expedition. Let's go get it.
Squatch hunt.
Yeah.
You know, I would actually. I don't. I mean, I live in Montana now. But I would totally go down there again. I would love to. And the creepiest thing to me about that whole experience was that like we saw those things and we didn't see them like approach. They like were suddenly just there.
Just there.
And then we've never seen them before or since, you know, like
your grandpa's wife, your grandma, I would assume. She's still alive, right?
Yeah, she is.
Now, could you ask her?
You know what? I should.
And could you ask her not only about that particular incident, but could you be like, yo, grandma, did anything else happen that was weird in those woods?
You know, I really should.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my grandma is my great grandma is a really tough lady. Like, she would just talk about, oh yeah, the other day I took my shovel and just cut off a snake's head because it was trying to bite me in the shovel.
Yeah.
Or bite in the shed. And she, you know, she's like 80.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should ask her because I guess whenever I'm like around, it's more we're just talking about, you know, like day-to-day stuff.
Sure.
Or how is this? But you know what? That's right. I should really ask her because
I'd say it would be beneficial to ask her in the company of your brother. Too. Yeah, and like have a little sit down, and be like, hey, like if both of us are here, we remember this. You can't ignore it. Not saying that she would, but the way your parents seem to, right? Like, hey, tell us what you think this was, because it's really kind of a big part of our memories.
Well, in fact, actually, my sister's right here. Right now. I mean, she doesn't. You don't have to say anything, Molly. But do you remember when we were in? Yes, you remember those? Do you remember like were they by like what were they by?
They were like by a tree or something.
Yeah,
I
right.
just remember you handing me binoculars and saying, "Look."
Yeah, right. What the heck? They're real.
Fucking heck.
But yeah, like I don't know.
Fire up the drone, Max. We're going on an expedition.
Oh yeah, yeah. If anybody will get it, it's the boys here.
The boys with a drone and a sack lunch.
Dude, I'd love to get Ash's interpretation in there too, because like I don't know, he's really into the whole spiritual side of Native American folklore and.
Sure he is. Hey Ash, you there? If he's here, we'll hear from him. Ash, Ash, wake up.
Okay.
Quit, get out of your pot roast coma and message us back.
Your pot roast coma. I haven't seen Ash speak in a while, though. He might have
probably dozed off. He's one of those. He's one of those engines that falls asleep at his keyboard.
Wow, man. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say like also about that video that I sent you guys. I really don't like super believe in all the videos I like to watch. Like I like to watch creepy crap all the time, you know. Just
yeah.
I'm actually the guy who will listen to creepy stories as I'm falling asleep, and I know that's like
messed
up,
jeez.
But
no. That's like Death Wish.
Yeah, I know that's so messed up. But watching that video, because usually I'll watch those things, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is fake, or oh yeah, this is just like a guy in a suit, like whatever.
Yeah.
But watching that one, the way that like seeing that creature just like messes with me like in my heart. Like I just like seeing it, I feel that it's just wrong.
What
like,
is...
even if it
what is going on? I'm scared of this video. Like people, the way that
it's just a guy. It's
look,
like,
Kendall, you're probably right.
It can be a guy. Yeah, I'm sure it's a guy, like or something.
Like you guys are probably right, but the way the chat reacted was unlike any other video we've had. Almost the way, because I've seen a lot of creepy videos put in chat and people react.
It made me squirm, and you heard me. That was a genuine like.
Everybody in chat just their asses squenched up. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. Like Alan, both Alan and myself are the pure souls here. We know what's up. We're not doing it. No way. This is a daytime thing, man.
Yeah.
Daytime operation.
If that's your reaction, you're going to have to watch it in the morning. Because like, I usually watch those type of videos at night just because like, I don't know. I think it sets the mood, and I'm sort of like a junkie for horror stuff.
Oh,
not gore. I don't like gore things really, but like psychological or stuff. I like that.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, watching that video, because like usually I'll watch those and I'll be like, okay, yeah, this is just whatever. Or, oh, hey, that's interesting. But when I watch that, like, okay, I'll say that it is a guy in a suit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
That guy was disturbed, and it like disturbed me. Like I did not like watching that video.
Oh.
I mean, the guy on the phone, he's very calm for what's going on. I would just be like, the fuck is this? I would be like, cause like you get into like that kind of when you're being intruded on, you kind of go into that defensive panic mode where you just start getting like how can I describe this? But you start like going like, hey, you know, you start like yelling and you start like panicking. But
Right.
you're trying to sound intimidating, but you're just kind of like panicking.
I can see, yeah, I can see that.
And like I said, like, why is he not calling the cops, dog? Why is he talking to his sister or whatever, dude? Like, oh.
He's actually calling his priest, and he's saying like, pray for me, dude. Like, because I think the backstory, I tried to look into this a little bit because, like, I'm not sort of the guy who will just watch, like, top 15 creepy videos and be like, okay, that's it, done with. I try to, like, you know, find out some more of the backstory. Um, the guy's name is Rick Grebnick, and he's been reporting, like, like demonic.
Sorry. I freaked myself out. I'm good. I'm alive. I heard the shower
okay?
kick. Yeah. Somebody's upstairs taking a shower, and it freaked me out when I heard it turn off.
They found you, Max.
Yeah, they found me all right. Jesus, fuck.
Okay, that reminds me. I didn't. I don't know if this was paranormal or not or whatever, but it was weird. Last night, actually, I was working on, because I do some like clay stuff sometimes, some like clay projects, like very rarely I do, but I was working on them last night
Yeah.
at my kitchen table, and I swear I flipping. I always get mad at my parents, because they have a kitchen, and it's a pretty big kitchen with bay windows
Oh no.
and no curtains.
Oh
No, why?
And Max, I remember your story about the little like yellow like demon light, that like light that like just anybody can look in and see you, but you can't see inside because
it's
same deal. Same deal.
Oh.
And our house is right behind, like, or behind our house is a park,
Oh.
and there's one street light, or like two street lights that light up this park, and so it's really creepy at night. Well, in the kitchen area, because like the kitchen is right there with the bay window behind it, and then the dining room is just to the right of it, and there you can go out onto our patio or back patio, and it's a big glass door, and anyways. There's a curtain over that, thankfully. But I was working last night, and I heard some like rustling outside our window, and I heard the like wind chimes going. But the thing that like the thing that like scared me was that like the wind chimes weren't like constant. Like it wasn't like
like something brushed them.
Yeah, it was like something brushed them.
Fuck my ass.
Yeah, it was multiple times. Like multiple times that I heard that, and so it like at first I didn't like recognize that. I was just like, oh, that's weird. I guess it's whatever. But then it happened multiple times, and so I was afraid to get up. Like I just got like intense, like a fear to not be seen by that bay window.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
Like I was sitting at a spot that I wasn't, but I was afraid because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. But I heard that rustling. I'm like, I don't want to be seen by the bay window, and I just got this like intense like I don't want to move, so I just like sat there standing still for like 10 minutes just trying to listen outside, and I didn't hear anything, but I still was just like a chicken, and so I got flat on my belly. I crawled down so that like you couldn't see me and went upstairs. I'm like, I'm not even gonna chance that.
No, you know what, like I would have done the same. I would have done I would have done something very similar. Very, very similar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's too much, man. First of all, put some curtains up, man. Okay. Second of all,
They had blankets up for a sec.
Yeah. They had blankets up because they can't decide on what design they want. So they put up blankets one time, but then they took this down, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Just curtains or blinds or anything.
Something.
Just
man.
no.
And you just okay, so you hear the chimes go tingle, 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 and then kind of nothing, and then tingle, 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 right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like working there, and like it perks my ear because like you know how it's like sort of in the background like water dripping, like you at first don't notice, but then you're like, oh wait, like the faucet's on or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's the thing that's going on.
Maybe. Yeah, because like we actually have like a lot of deer out here that like around and stuff. So it could have been a deer. It totally could have been a deer, but I just got like a really crippling fear for some reason. Like sometimes that happens. Like I don't know what it is, but like randomly it'll just be like do not do this. Do not go this way. Do not like. I just get this gut feeling.
That's that thing. That's that thing that's in your mind that kept us alive as long as we've been alive, right? That's the
For
thing that's
sure.
hardwired into us when we're in
That's
the
how
woods.
we, yeah.
It's like,
That's
oh,
how we
Yes.
didn't get ate.
is there a giant cat looking at me? Is it gonna hunt me and eat me? That's that thing. All right.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
you're sitting in there, and you're making your pottery, whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do. And you're doing it, and then suddenly, look, I'm gonna say it right now.
Sure.
It could have been a deer, but you were being watched by something. Oh yeah, you're being watched by something, and that thing triggered in your mind because your weird sixth sense. That same thing that they tell snipers in the military, like don't look at somebody for too long through binoculars because they'll start to feel it. Like that same thing that they tell people not to do, that triggered
Yeah.
in you.
Yeah, humans have that kind of like predatory sense where we know when we're being watched. Like it's yeah. It's that feeling that like before you see the cop, you notice just start to slow down, then you like pass by an intersection, it's like, yep, there was the cop who would have given me a ticket. How
Yeah.
did I know he was there? I didn't.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah. My sister says it was me. I was cold. Let me in.
Oh, rip.
But no. Oh man. Like that's like one of the creepiest things too, because like there's no way that you can prove it,
Yeah.
but you know it. Like
Yeah.
you know it, and
Mm.
it could totally have been a deer. It could have been like, I don't know, like a fat bird or something.
Sure.
Like just an owl maybe. But I felt that there was something outside trying to watch me, and I did not want them to see me. And so I was just like, heck no. Ugh. I'm so sorry for you that you've had to experience that too, Max. Like, oh.
I mean, I know the feeling of those windows, and how high up are those chimes?
Those chimes are actually pretty high. Like
Oh.
we I would probably say like around 6 or 7 feet, and the thing is, they're pretty close to the window, so whatever brushed against them had to be pretty close. Up there.
So wait a second.
Yeah,
These chimes are 6 feet off the ground,
yeah.
and
It's a biggin.
okay,
It could
maybe
be the male.
it could have been a male with a rack. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Except
could have been a bull.
probably wasn't. First of all, probably was not that. Jeez, man.
I know. Like just thinking about it now, because like I sort of just ran and went up to bed. No, not a cowman. Not a cowman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Somebody quote, put my Pokemon.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Like, oh,
Friend quote.
Clicking and cooing, trying to seduce you over to the window to pull you into the dark abyss of his love dungeon.
oh no. Oh, but yeah, that was like back like yesterday when that happened, and I ran up to bed, like, cause like I crawled down, and then once there's like, it sort of sucks because there's an opening. There's two entrances to the kitchen.
Yeah.
There's the one that was right there that where I didn't want to be seen, that you can walk straight into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then there's the living room right next to, like, it touches the, like, if you imagine a square, the living room is the whole left side of the square. Then the kitchen is the top right, and then the dining room is the bottom right.
Yeah.
And I got past the like first entrance on the bottom there to the kitchen, but then I had to like just basically run past the other entrance and hope that whatever was out there didn't see me. And so I was just like bracing myself. I'm like, all right, 3, 2, 1, and I just booked it up the stairs. I'm just like, screw that.
Yeah. How long have you lived in that place? This place that this happened at?
2 years.
Okay, let me ask you this now. Has that ever happened before in this place?
Yes, not the jingling of the chimes and then me like thinking something was there.
Yeah.
But I felt watched here before. and
Okay.
it's especially that bay window.
Okay, let's be more objective. So you've never heard the chimes before?
Right.
Okay.
Like
Have you ever seen anything walk up through the park lights?
okay. I saw a guy walking.
Oh,
He
Christ.
didn't have his dog or anything.
Oh.
So I assume he's just like a night walker.
Christ on a cracker, man.
He wasn't walking towards like my house or anything, so like it wasn't that creepy, but it was sort of just weird to see a guy because like I stay up late here.
Hang on. What am I hearing?
Some interference on the microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was some weird interference. My bad.
That was creepy interference too.
Aliens.
Okay, so you saw a guy.
Yeah, so I saw a guy walking, and he didn't have a dog or anything. He was, so you know how that park is right behind our house?
Okay.
Right beyond that is a like little like what's the word? Suburban road. You know, like
Sure.
Yeah, and he was walking on that road, and I saw him, and he was just like casually walking around, and I stay up really late. I was playing games all night basically, and so it was 4 o'clock, and I walk up to the kitchen to get myself a glass of water before I go to bed, and I look outside because usually I don't like looking out the bay window, but I had to get the water. And so I looked out, and I see this guy just walking, and it's just creepy. You're like, oh, there's another human out at night. Like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing, dog?
Yeah.
I ran across the park to catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah. My sister, she plays Pokemon Go on her phone, and she'll run out and try to capture Pokemon in the park because there's a Pokestop or whatever out there.
Right. Does she do it at 4 a.m.?
No, but she does it. She went out at 9 p.m.
Okay. All right.
Because you're in the park and you just see trees and there's no light.
Right. Yeah, because like she says, you go out into the park and there's hardly any light in the park. It's just the light on the streets that sort of illuminate it. You know.
Right.
No. Okay. So you've lived there for 2 years. You've never had the chimes ding-a-ling before.
Yeah, like I can hear, like I hear those chimes like on a normal, like I can tell the difference between like a breeze where it's like, you know, a constant, and then like a sudden,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, that really bad acting.
Chimes are up kind of high. You've never heard it before.
Kind of high.
6 feet. It's dude height. Let's face it.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I feel like if it were deer, unless a deer suddenly decided to get brave one night,
I mean, they're like,
you would have had it happen already.
well, not like right up in our patio, but there have been deer that will be like in the park, just like basically right behind our house.
Yeah.
And they'll come in sort of like packs, you know, and just like graze around. Eat our roses. We have a rose bush,
Okay.
you know,
Do you have
roses.
any roses or plants near the chimes?
No, it's been snowing for like months. It's like
Okay.
everything's dead now.
So there's nothing for the deer to want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go out and look for footprints in the snow? Is there still snow?
No, not now. Like basically it just started getting sunny like probably 4 days ago. And so like there hasn't been any time for anything to grow.
When did this happen?
This happened yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday night.
Did you go up and look at the window and see if there's any smudges on the window? Like like the next day.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't get ate.
Yeah, don't get ate.
Yeah, it's basically the same time right now, actually.
Oh, great. It's probably out there.
Dude, okay, legit. If I see something, I'm gonna scream. Okay, so you guys are all gonna have to deal with that.
Okay.
But it'll literally be just a second because it's
Sure.
literally just up there. All right, Molly.
All right.
Wait for me.
We'll be here.
Don't die.
Thank you.
Did I hope I didn't just send him to get got.
Yeah, well.
My city now.
What's
The
that?
baby here is mine.
Yeah, it's all you have the ship.
Yep.
That's true.
Well, he hasn't screamed yet.
Well, maybe it got him before he could even scream.
Yeah, that's true. Wait,
Snatch.
what if it like body swaps with him?
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Jacob, I don't think you're you.
You don't think I'm me?
No, we gotta do the Klingon blood test, man.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
make sure you're not a mimic or something.
Or the thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
blood test. Oh.
So what's the evidence?
So I took a look outside, and it's pretty dark. I didn't look on the outside, but I looked from the inside out,
Yeah.
And there's only like tiny like wet, like it looks like something wet was like flicked on the window, but besides that there's nothing. Like water particles, sort of like when it's sort of
Yeah.
it just evaporates. That's all I saw.
How
There's no
high?
like prints or anything.
How high
How
up?
high?
Yeah.
It's pretty low pretty low against the window frame. I'd say about a foot below the.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah, so that could be anything. I really didn't see anything that like crazy or whatever. So
Tomorrow when it's daytime and you have more light, look at like head level, right? Look real hard because I've had experience with this. Look at head level and see if you see like where somebody pressed the side of their face up or their lips.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously. Yeah,
I will.
Or like if they've put their hand on there, and maybe not even heavily, but just like enough to leave some grease.
Right.
And you see like a palm and some fingers or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a look. That actually reminds me of. I mean, I don't mean to change the subject, but that reminds me of a video I saw on YouTube where it's like this guy's showing off some cockatiels that he had to some friends.
Okay.
And he has a screen door that is like open, and he's showing off the birds, and like he pans like to show his face, and you can also see the screen door behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so this is the first one, this is the second one, and in the second one it shows the screen door and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But in the third one, he starts walking over towards the last one.
Oh Christ!
As he's walking, you see something press its hands and its face against his screen door.
Oh.
And it literally, it's happening as he's walking away, and it's the creepiest thing ever because you can see the screen indent.
Oh.
You can see like something pressing in, and he's like, and this is the last one, Charlie. And he didn't even realize that. He didn't realize anything weird happened because he was sending it to his friend. He's like, these are my parents' birds. And his friend says, nice birds. Haha, by the way, what was that in the back of the video?
Wait.
Yeah.
This is a Snapchat thing. I remember this.
Yeah, that Snapchat
I
thing.
remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah. I'm going to take a look like in the morning, like you said. I'm going to gander because I don't want to find anything like that, but if I did, I will message you guys on Facebook and I will report my findings.
And go out and look at your chimes, right? Mm-hmm. And just kind of do some logistics. Just walk around underneath your chimes. See what it would take to get that noise.
Yeah.
Have your sister sit inside. Have you sit inside. You both kind of take turns, seeing what it takes to get that noise.
Oh. Yeah, and you know what else? Have her sitting there, and I won't tell her when.
Yeah.
But be outside, and then start looking in her direction.
Like no, thank you.
I meant like see if like.
I know. I'm just getting chips in the kitchen and banging on the glass.
No, I meant like if you're sitting at the table, right, and I'm looking in towards your direction. Like, see if you would feel me looking into you, and like, see if like we report the same. I guess it should be the other way around because I was the one who felt that. But yeah, okay, yeah. I'll inspect the chimes and I'll inspect the glass and see what I can find because,
What if in the morning before you're awake?
Yeah, I should check that. But
I mean, I don't know how long I'd be standing. Like
I'm writing this down so I can remember.
Science.
Yeah.
Science. But yeah, so I guess those are my creepy stories.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. I mean, those windows suck. My grandma had that shitty window above the sink. It wasn't a bay window, but it was shitty. But see, in my other house, though, we had sliding doors in the dining room / main room, and they didn't have curtains on them. They're just big sliding glass doors, and I hated those things.
Why?
That sucked. I don't know. It's like, come on, guys, cover it up. And I remember that was shitty also because they had the dog door in it, and the dog door is just this little flappy piece of rubber that anything can crawl into if it wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
so it could take a nice look, and then it could come in if it wants. So that sucks.
It can grab at you, man.
It can grab at me. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have
Bite those ankles.
a little. What the heck?
Hmm.
Okay, so we have a little dog,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, what is he doing?
my dog just started Okay, so we're
Oh no.
Oh, here we go.
we're in a back room right now,
Yeah.
and like it's backed against the opposite side. So if he was looking out, he'd be looking in the direction
Stop.
towards where that thing would have been,
Mhm.
right?
Stop it.
I was looking at him because I was gonna say we have a dog and we have doggy doors. It started staring in the direction right when I said that.
Go out
Like,
there. Go out there.
Jacob, no, you're gonna die.
Get it.
I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna use my flashlight.
Yeah.
Okay?
Light it up.
Molly,
What?
protect me. Or yeah.
Okay.
protect me.
Molly, use the flamethrowers.
I'll get hairspray and a lighter,
Oh,
There you go.
There you go. Got it. Oh.
and I'll use it on Jacob. Sorry, what? Hello,
How-
Jacob.
Yeah. Dave.
I just heard you say, "Oh no."
Oh, really?
He's dead, fellas. He's gone.
Rip in pepperonis.
Rest in piss.
I like it.
Caesar, stop. My dog's stepping all over my keyboard.
Uh-oh. I heard a door or something.
That was a solid door noise.
That was a solid door noise.
I just put it inside. He's coming back in here.
Okay.
All right, he's back. Not dead.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, hey, I didn't see anything, guys.
Uh-huh.
But I felt like I didn't feel the exact same feeling, but I got like a knot in my stomach. I was like, oh.
Stop! I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh man.
He's going to touch your bit, guys.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. How
Yes.
how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20. Okay. That's
Yeah.
not a child. Okay. So
Right.
Yeah.
you sound like you're together in the head. We've had some wackos on here. If you can believe it, we've talked to some weirdos.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
one or two.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you're not like that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being there's a Squatch outside your window watching you every night. One being it's your imagination. Being as objective as you can make yourself be. Where do you think that there is a thing occasionally looking in your window, skulking around your house?
I mean, the number that first popped into my head is a 5.
Yeah.
Like, I have to say, like, I don't, because like I'm not a very superstitious guy.
Yeah.
I don't like I do like to occasionally think, oh hey, Mothman as a concept would
Oh.
be pretty cool.
Yes.
That was creepy. Did we just
That
hear?
was just
That was okay. Yeah, so that's what it is. My
It's you
phone.
getting a text message? Yeah.
Yeah, when I get
it's
a text message, it messes with my
Okay.
speaker.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's a known thing. Okay.
Okay. So, okay, go ahead. You don't
Um,
sometimes you get into it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, hey, this concept would be cool, but I don't really like believe that there are like creatures out like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I've been getting the feeling that there's like just something out there for like a while now. Just like I'll get like random like panic attacks. Like I don't want to like look outside, or I don't want to be by a window, or I don't want to be out at night. You know.
Does this ever
Um,
happen in the day?
Yeah, actually. And it's usually when I'm alone. Like there is one time or two times that it's happened when I was with like a couple more people, like with my sister and my brother
Mhm.
at night. But it's usually when I'm alone, and it actually sort of sucks because we have this big old TV that when you turn it off, its reflection is really reflective.
Oh.
And it's almost positioned perfectly to see right outside the window.
Oh.
So I almost never want to turn the TV off and look at it as it turns off. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to turn it off and see flipping Squatch out there with popcorn.
Sure.
Waiting.
Like,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Rubbing his hands together menacingly.
yeah, but I'd have to say a 5 because I want to be rational as possible. I don't want to like play into like superstition or hype or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling often enough that I think that it's not just like like often enough and not at the same time. Like it's like it'll happen 1 week at a time, and then it'll happen 2 times a week, and then it'll happen 3 months later, but like I feel it as a continual thing.
Okay, so here's another question.
Sure.
Now, does your sister also live in this place?
She does.
Okay, so does she get this feeling?
Molly, do you ever get that feeling?
Not really, but I'm always too busy distracting myself.
She
Okay.
does hang out in the like so how I was explaining that like square
Yeah.
for like where everything is situated.
Yeah.
They're to the left of that box, or like the left inside of the box. You go up some stairs and then you go all the way back into the left, and that's where my sister's room is. And she has big drapes over all the windows and stuff, and she's up high and like in the far back.
Yeah.
So when the gorillas come to shove people up the chimneys, she'll be safe. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, she spends a lot of time back there. So, and not at night. She spends down here, unlike I do.
Yeah.
And so I sort of feel like maybe it's just because I'm more
Yeah, he's
around
down
the
there
window.
more.
Yeah, so I get that feeling more. I should ask my brother though, because my brother sometimes he'll hang out and watch like TV late at night.
Yeah.
And play games, and I'll wonder if he ever gets that feeling. He actually lives in the basement. I live up in the highest level with my sister and parents, but he lives in the basement.
Okay.
And so I'll see if he gets the same feeling or anything.
He's in the prime Squatch attack zone.
Yeah.
Ground squash.
Ground Squatch.
Ground Squatch.
Yeah. That yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Well.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well.
I was just really excited, and I had a lot to say, and I'm glad that I got to say it.
Well, we just we got to get whatever's around your house. That's all.
For sure.
Catch it.
Yeah.
We gotta sell it to science.
You know what you ought to do.
What?
If you were, if I were braver and I had the means, this is what I would do. I would get on Amazon, and get like a cheap action cam, like a $40 action cam. I'd get a decent size SD card for it, and I'd set the settings to like 480p, so it could record a long time.
Right.
And I would just point it at the windows before I would go to sleep at night. Leave it recording. And see if you catch a guy looking in.
Yeah. I mean, I actually have a camera. What?
I'm sorry, I just want to bring this up. Yesterday, our dog was going crazy, like barking a lot when the door was open, so the glass door was open. So you could see
the back one or the front?
the front, so you could see outside and front. But
He's freaking out. That's a
There's
Huh.
nope.
after we closed it, was he okay?
There's nobody out there.
what the heck? Was it what time was this?
This was like 8 to 9, so it was dark out already.
What the heck?
So you're not sure that there's nobody out there.
Well, I mean, nobody visits.
Well, yeah.
That you
here's
know
the thing.
of.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. There might be footprints coming from the forest right to your gate and not leaving.
I'm not surprised.
well, the thing about this neighborhood is like this is sort of like a retirement neighborhood. There's a
Okay.
lot of old people here.
Yeah.
All of them go to bed at like 6.
Okay.
Like, it's not like a place that most people visit. There are occasionally like that one guy I saw out there. There are some younger people who live here, but most of the time this is like an older place, like an older people place. So, it's not really like I think a place where most people would be out at night.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like what gets me is like, if this was like, you know, some random whatever, some random place where, you know, more suburban, I can understand people going out late at night, but this is sort of like retirement village. So
Yeah. Well, I would point the camera at the window all night. And I would leave the lights off inside the room for a few reasons. So whoever, I'm going to say whatever because there's no such thing as whatever. So whoever's staring in doesn't see the camera so well filming. And so the camera staring out filming can see more.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
Because if the light's on inside, then they could walk right up to the window and you'd barely see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Like if I were concerned about, I don't know how concerned you are. First, I think we've kind of been like, hey man, you got a thing out there. Like we're kind of putting it in your head. But if you're really
Right.
if you're really concerned about it, that's what I would do.
Yeah, and put it to rest, you know, like either give yourself some peace of mind or figure out if it's a thing or a dude or what's going on. Of course, if it is a dude, you kind of have a problem you got to deal with then. But, you know, one bridge at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get to that point, but I mean, we do have a gun, and I actually have. I'm okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say don't. I'm not a weave. It's not a katana. It's a cavalry sword.
Okay.
Judgment already passed.
True. No, but it's a cavalry sword. I have some weaponry that, you know, we can use to defend ourselves if things get to the worst. But and a little Pomeranian to protect us from Squatch.
By the ankles.
By Squatch.
Okay.
But yeah, I do want to look into it a little bit more because like I don't like not feeling comfortable, you know, especially in my house.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially at night, you know, like I think it's just the whole like concept of like people being able to view inside and get good looks because I usually have a light on, you know, but me not being able to see them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a look and I'll report, you know, what I find on you guys' Facebook page. Like I'll message you guys or something and share that because yeah, it hasn't really been that big of a deal until like just recently, you know. I've just been like feeling more and more like I do not like this just giant open window to our house, you know, that anybody can look into.
So truly putting what we've said tonight aside,
Sure.
right? And anything I may have said or anybody else may have said about the shittiness of open windows at night, like this is a feeling that you actually get.
Yes.
And it's something that actually is concerning you more and more.
Yeah.
Without outside influence.
Without outside influence, like obviously I think it got a little hyped up just because we're you know playing around and you know all that, but it does sort of worry me just because I and especially after watching that one video I linked to you guys, that like concept has become more present in my mind. I'm like I want to figure out if there is something out there. I don't want it to come around us, you know.
Right.
Have you asked your mom or dad if they've had any weird feelings or?
Oh my gosh, do you remember Molly? The couple or like a couple months ago when they were knocking on our doors and like knocking on the wall. Do you remember that?
Wait.
How did I forget that? Okay, so I can't believe I like spaced this out. But so it was like 2 a.m. and
God.
Everybody was asleep. Everybody was asleep, and we started hearing banging all around our house. Not like a whole bunch of people, but like somebody was circling the house, knocking on the glass. And I can't. Why did I forget that? We were walking, or I woke up and I was like, "What time is it? Like this is weird." And my dad got up and he actually, I think he said, "Hey, grab your knife." Because I also have a knife under my bed. He said, "Hey, grab your knife." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Grab your knife." And so he went outside and was like walking around. He's like, "Come with me." And we were looking around our house because we heard like knocking first on our front door, then like on the side of our house.
Oh,
Then
no.
bin on the side with the glass. And I can't believe I forgot that. I think I tried to like space it, but yeah, that was some creepy crap. And we looked around, and we didn't see anybody or anything. And my dad actually called the cops. And my mom was like, "We need to make sure, like, we need to call the cops."
Call the police.
Yeah,
That's
call
what
the
you pay your
police.
taxes for.
Exactly. And we called the police, and they came by, and they said, "All right, we'll do some patrols, but we don't see anything." And we were sitting out on the back porch, like the back patio. We were looking around, trying to see anything. We didn't see anything, but everybody in the house woke up because we heard this. And I don't know why that like didn't come to me as we were talking all about this, but like I think something just triggered. Like I think front door was what triggered it, but like front door and dog going crazy. But
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
I know. No, I'm sorry.
Well, I have questions.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What time in the morning?
Like 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay. And
2:25 actually, I think was exactly because I looked at my phone and I was like, "What time is this?"
and what time of year was it?
This was in like, was it October? Was it October, Molly, or was it November? Either way, it was in winter.
Was there snow yet?
There wasn't snow yet. No.
Okay. Okay, so now did the knocking wake you up, or did your dad telling you to come out with a knife wake you up?
The knocking woke me up.
The knocking woke you up.
I thought somebody was like trying to get into our front door, and so usually I have to answer the door because everybody else is off doing whatever. Yeah. And so I thought it was morning, and I was like, oh, I got to get up. But I went to check my phone because I always do that to see how much, because I believe it plugged in when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I checked it. I was like, all right, what percentage is this at? And I saw that it was 225 or 220, and I was like, oh, geez, like what?
Yeah.
And so then my dad, he opened my door like fast and was like, hey, can you like look outside? He handed me a spotlight. He was like, hey, grab your knife. He said, grab your knife and use the spotlight. Like, do you see anybody out there? Because I have windows that go out and look out in the front yard, so I can see your front yard pretty good.
Gotcha.
And I didn't. And he said, all right, well, get your knife and come with me. Like, we're going to go downstairs and go outside and check this out.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Okay. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long were you awake before your dad came in?
Literally like 30 seconds, probably.
Okay. So when you were hearing the knocking, like, describe the knocking. Was it like somebody pounding on the front door? Was it like like a sharp stick stabbing at the wall?
Like that.
Really?
Like it was
So like an urgent knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did it stop?
It like I heard it as I was waking up, and as my dad was getting up, telling me to like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
It stopped probably like as we were going down the stairs. Like he got me to get my knife, and as we were walking down the stairs, it stopped.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Your stairs, are they in field of vision from that huge window?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, right when you get down the stairs, or right when you right when you get off the stairs, because like it's just like a single flight. Right when you get off, if you look immediately to your left, there's that big bay window.
So they could see you coming down the stairs, or when you're down the stairs.
Yeah, they could.
Do you have a light on inside?
We did. We turned the light on just as we were opening the front door, because we were because my dad was trying to, because we have a porch light, to like light up the whole front.
Yeah.
He turned on the light to the porch light, but he also turned on an inside light. So I think maybe that was whatever.
Okay. Okay, so you get out there, you shine a light around, right?
Yeah.
Nothing.
We didn't see anything.
Not a thing.
Like, so it's this little like LED handheld like floodlight thing.
Mm-hmm.
The beam is probably like I don't know. I'd probably say like baseball sized. Like that's like the light itself.
Pretty
And
focused.
yeah, so it's pretty focused and it can shine pretty far out.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, because we went out the front first, and he said, watch my back. And we walked outside all the way to down because we have like a little stairway thing that leads to our driveway.
Yeah.
And then the driveway connects with the road. And he said, all right, go down the driveway with me. And so we looked around and he had me flash the light. I couldn't see anything. And it was weird.
Did you guys circle the house?
Yes. So we went down that way, towards the front. Then we went left and we started circling back up the house. And then we went to the back patio and we looked inside the back patio because we thought maybe somebody was like hiding up against the fence.
Yeah.
Because there's a fence next to it. And we didn't see anything like that. We didn't see anybody there. It was, and the thing that was weird to me was the speed, because like it sounded like somebody was knocking on, like, not all at once, but around the house pretty fast.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
What are your walls like?
Our walls are sort of like that. So the back side is wood.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sides are sort of like paper corn, or like not paper corn, but like that's popcorn, sort of like
Okay, like that stucco kind of.
stucco.
It's like that more firm stucco that goes on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. And where you were hearing the knocking, front door, right?
Yeah, I heard it on the front door,
And where else?
and I heard it on the back wall. Like, so basically the route that we took, I heard it on the front side on our front door.
Uh-huh.
Then I heard it on the walls, because when you go down the stairs, you're facing the basically like let's see, hold on, let me figure out the direction really fast, the compass. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
Because I have a compass on my phone. So let's see if it is.
Whoa.
I know, whoa, guys, right? Eastward.
Technology.
Right. So the east wall. So the north wall is the big bay window out in the kitchen.
Okay.
The east wall is like to where our TV is.
Okay.
The south wall is our front door, and then the west wall is like where my sister's bedroom is and stuff.
Okay.
So we heard it on the south wall, on the front door, and then we heard it circle the east wall, and then the north wall. So it basically went from our front door all the way to our back window and was banging on, not the glass, but on the wall.
So it's like somebody went along each side of the house.
Yeah.
Going boom, 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 all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the last time you heard it, where would you say it was?
It was the back.
Okay,
I
and
think.
you guys went out the front?
Yes, we went out the front because my dad, he was like, well, I want to make sure that like nobody's like trying to trick us. He thought, because I can't say how many people there were, but it was pretty fast, and he said that he thinks, since the one we heard in the blast was the back,
Yeah.
he thought that maybe they were trying to trick us, because he has a view into the back, like into the like his bedroom
Yeah.
has a view back there, so he could shine his light and like look out there, and he said he didn't see anything there as he was trying to look back.
Yeah.
So he's like, maybe they like slipped in really fast and went to the other side. So he's like, hey, let's see if maybe they're trying to like like just whatever, just messing with us. So we went out that way and we looked, and we didn't see anybody.
Okay, so from the last time you heard it, the last time you heard it was starting to go down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, from the point that you actually went outside, how long of a span of time was that?
From when it stopped to
From
when we went outside.
from the last bang you heard to the first step you took outside.
Like 10 seconds.
Oh, really?
Because-
Fast.
yeah.
Okay.
Because my dad was like, we need to get these guys, like if there's people outside, we need to like you know, we need to defend ourselves. And I was like, I'm barely awake.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Science.
It is a lot like that scene in Science. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It's a lot like that scene in Science. How big is the house?
Let's see, 2,400 square feet.
How long is How long is the length of the front wall?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Let me do some calculations really fast.
Calculations, indeed.
But I can say that, like, probably, like, my rough estimation is probably going to be about like 40 feet or something.
Okay, and how long's the side that you heard
The
the knocking
side-
on? Yeah.
The side is like 20, 25.
And when you were hearing the knocking kind of go around the house, how fast was that?
Like, like I'm trying to picture, like, basically, the speed of like I would say if you were running around the house like as a normal person,
Mm-hmm.
basically double that. Like
Oh,
not a Olympian speed, not like Usain Bolt speed,
right.
but like your average, person running around the house, I would say double that.
Okay. Now this is gonna be hard to remember, but
Mhm.
do you remember a lot of pounding, or was it like boom boom, or was it like ka 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 ka? I know you kind of did it, but if it was it like more rapid, all of them?
It was really rapid, yeah.
Really rapid.
It was like both hands were hitting the wall at different times.
Wow.
Like playing the drums, like you don't go bum bum bum, it's bum 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 bum.
And
bum,
when you were hearing it in one spot, for like when it oscillated from the front to the side, how many bangs? I know this is like super hard to remember, but like how many bangs on the front, and then how many bangs on the side? Like like
I can't tell you, but I know that there were more, like, I think on the front. Like I remember more on the front because it was almost like as I was getting up to
yeah.
get to my phone, and like I was like starting to actually come to.
Yeah.
That's when it started to like circle the house.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody that might not like your family?
I can't really think of many people.
Do you guys have all I have to do is say yes or no to this. Do you guys have anything really valuable in the house that's easy to see?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Besides that big TV, I guess you can see that big TV really nicely.
Okay.
From the back, or from that back window. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the multiple knocking, to me, I'm doubtful that it's something really fast. I think it was more than one person
Yeah.
trying to see what kind of response they can get out of you. Could
Absolutely.
have just been like a harmless prank, but that also is like a technique I've heard of before when people were trying to case a joint.
Yep.
Like
They
they'll throw
see
rocks at the side of the building to see what kind of reaction.
how fast
Oh,
people get up,
response.
how many people come
Yeah.
out. Yeah. See if they call
Yeah.
the cops or not.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a downer when this goes from like plain full, like, ooh, spooky to like real life, like this might be some shit you got to deal with.
Well, I mean, that can be creepier in my opinion. 'Cause,
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely,
But
because it's real.
less fun.
Yeah, but it's definitely, it's kind of a buzzkill, and it's like, oh, that's unpleasant to think about, that people want to take my things or do me harm.
What is weird to me is that if it were at least two people, right? Which it had to have been, the way I'm understanding it.
Yeah, the way I had it pictured in my mind, I had two people.
So you guys have a fence around the place, right?
we have a fence around the back, but not around the front or the side. Like,
But you guys went around the front first, right?
yeah, we went to the front first. We went down the driveway, and then we went to the left, and there's like a little grassy, because our house, if you go, it's in a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So if you go into the cul-de-sac, our house is on the left, right at the lip, I would say, of the cul-de-sac.
Gotcha.
And yeah, then the in between our house and the next is a grassy little like area that leads into that park behind our house.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, with the close park access,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very feasible it could just be people playing a prank.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is risky to do a prank
I mean,
like that.
it's
Yeah.
definitely risky. But I mean, you remember when everybody was dressed up as clowns and like
Yeah.
basically trespassing just to like freak people
But
out? Like
see,
that was super risky.
But
and
see, here's
stupid.
what kind of gets me though. How fast did you guys check everything out? How much time would you say it was from you guys leaving the front door to you guys seeing around the property pretty well?
We spent like altogether, I would probably say like a 5 minute sweep, like looking at everything. Like, we went back and forth. But
Okay.
I'd say a full sweep probably took like 40 seconds or something.
So you guys had seen pretty much the whole property in the first 40 seconds.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so here's what gets me though, Kendall.
Yep.
They go out there, nothing's there.
Yeah,
And-
our
and-
response was quick.
Well, I mean,
they-
what kind of cover could they retreat to really quickly?
Well, they have a fence in the back, so they could have hopped the fence. But he said they walked out into the front, so they could kind of see the sides of the house. So they didn't see them go out of the sides, right? So they had to
Right.
have hopped the fence in the back.
Well, yeah, and I guess a point that I didn't really like make out is that like behind our house
Mhm.
is like some trees dotted around, but
Yeah.
besides that, there's not really much cover.
Yeah.
Like they basically could have only hidden behind trees, and like my dad made sure to like use, because he and I both had those like floodlight things,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he said to shine it at the trees and like look at around what you think head level would be, and
Mhm.
like see if you see any faces peeking through the
Yeah.
trees. And we didn't see anything like that. And the best escape route really would have been like out the front way,
Yeah.
because they could run down the street and hide in people's like
Sure.
bushes, or hide in people's whatever.
Now you
know?
guys went out the front and nobody ran down
did.
the street.
Yeah, because we wanted to, because that's like my dad was like, hey, we should check this first, because they're probably tricking us trying to hide out here, because they can't really hide very well unless they make it to the trees, in the
Right.
back. But
Right. So what gets me is that they go out and they don't see anything, which tells me that these guys are like, because it's not a Squatch, let's face it, right? So that
Right.
these guys are probably, they have a plan to get out, no matter which way they come out of the house. Like, okay, if they come out the front, this is what we're gonna do super quick. They come out the back, this is what we're gonna do super quick. That kind of deal.
Right.
Which tells me that they're testing your place.
yeah,
It's weird. It's creepy.
yeah.
No good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no
No
good.
bueno.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Well, it hasn't happened for a long time. The only like creepy thing, like I've said, that like has happened that like really got my attention was last night, when I was just like, I can feel something looking in. But besides that, there's nothing that's been like a major event,
Yeah. Well, see,
So-
I mean, that is weird. I've never had that happen to my house. So it's not like, it's not the pipes,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just like, somebody, is using the bathroom, or water's running. It's
Yeah,
like something's actually happening.
Similarly,
Mhm.
it's not the pipes that made your chimes jingle.
Right.
Right.
That's what creeps me out about what happened to you last. Like, it's one thing to sit there in the dark and feel like, oh, I feel creeped out, But it's like another thing then to hear something outside. How far are the chimes from the window? You said they were close, right?
Yeah, like, so I just checked just so that I could get a good like gander.
Yeah.
They're like hardly even a foot out from the window.
And are there any chimes like further out, or are those the closest ones?
Those are the closest ones. and
How
they're the
how
only
far
ones.
are the furthest ones?
How far is the furthest one?
Yeah.
Like a foot 6 inches.
Okay, so they're all right there.
They're all right
Right.
there. Yeah.
So you had to have heard a chime that was right there. There's no other chimes around the house that you could have mistaken it for?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
It's wooden. It's wooden wind chimes. And we have a bird feeder that's right next to the thing. And here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I was expecting, because like I was thinking, well, maybe it's just a bird, right?
Sure.
Well, I know that it isn't a bird because when I heard like that wind chime and the things getting hit,
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, so maybe a bird might have like, brushed past it or whatever.
Yeah.
The wind chimes like stopped all of a sudden. And I was like, okay, that's like a bird wouldn't be able to like just stop them,
Oh,
Like,
they stopped suddenly?
yeah, like so
Oh my
like,
God,
the
these
chime,
little
like,
details.
I'm sorry, I know, but like I heard them like constantly like because you know how you can hear them pitter out, right?
Yeah.
You hear them like you can hear somebody if they brush past them, they'll start to pitter out. I heard them
Oh.
get hit, pitter out, get hit, pitter out, get hit, and then stop. And I
So
was
like
whoa.
somebody put their hand on them and stopped them.
So uncomfortable, man. It goes from wind. Oh. What
Wow.
if he's casing the place, man? What if there's some creeper? Or what
You
if
know-
it's a skin four-legger?
Oh.
If it's those chupacabras trying to pay us a visit again, and
Yeah.
they're stacked one on top of each other so
Oh,
that they
no.
can peek into the window.
Oh no.
Hey,
Well,
Ugh.
that last little detail creeped me out.
right.
I don't like that.
Pterodactyls. They're out there.
Oh my
Ugh.
God. Well, that's no good,
Right.
man.
Yeah, I know that you guys probably want to talk to somebody else or want
I
to go to
mean,
bed. So
probably bed, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
I would like updates on this.
yeah, I'll give you guys some updates on Facebook. I'm sorry that well, I'm glad to have been able to chat with you guys. I thought this was really fun, and sorry
yeah.
I took up so much time.
No, that's okay.
Oh
Don't
no, you're fine.
apologize,
This
yeah.
has been very interesting. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
I'm never really interested like this in things. The only other time I was when Avery was in the house and the guy was in the house. And
that was
What was
that was
that?
intense.
you don't know that story?
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to make it as fast as I can. Everybody in
Sorry.
chat knows this story. So, Avery, who's a fan, he's in South Korea right now. He's deployed, but Avery, he lived in Kentucky, and when he was like 15, 16, somewhere in there, he was at a friend's house. They were there. I think there were 4 of them, 3 of them. Fuck, I don't know. Somebody can probably tell this better, but they're outside all day, and their plan was, and there's no parents. Like the parents are gone, right? And this is kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. And their plan was, okay, we're gonna set up a tent and have a nice little night out, and we're gonna camp out next to the house because it's in the woods and it's not that bad. So here's the
Right.
thing: while they were outside all day, they left the house unlocked,
Oh,
and it started to rain. So they're
it's
like,
taking up.
yeah, it started to rain, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna sleep inside.
Uh-huh.
So they go in the house, they all get in the house, and they lock the door. So this means from this point on out, nobody could have got in unless they break in, right?
Right.
Okay, so then they go upstairs and they don't close the door, but they leave the door cracked and they start watching a movie. And they have I don't know what 4 dudes are doing watching a movie in the bedroom. Don't, you
Having a good time.
speculate on that all you want. But the point is that they're watching a movie and they're probably shirtless because Avery was there. And and they're like watching it for a long. I think he said that they watched like 3 or 4 movies, and they're just waiting for the night to end. They're waiting for the rain to go away or something. And at some point, Avery's on his phone or something, and he kind of looks over to the left, and he sees. I think the way he explained it was that you could tell it was there because it was darker than the background. Like
Oh.
he could see the silhouette, and it was crouched down low.
Oh.
And this is what impressed me so much is that Avery, pretty smart for who he is, pretty smart, pretty together. He like types out on his phone, "Hey man, somebody's in the hallway and they're looking at us through the door.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and when he shows this to his buddy sitting next to him, again, probably shirtless, next to him on the bed, weird. When he shows this to his friends, I think there's like a buzz, there's like a reaction. Somebody reacted. And basically what happened, the door slammed shut, like boom, and then you heard them run down the stairs like do, and then you heard them go into the basement.
Oh no.
So then there they are. They're up in the room and they're like trying to figure out like, what the fuck do we do? You know, like there's somebody in the house. And so they do like a conga line and they kind of they stealth out.
Strength in numbers, man.
That's right. And they get out of there and they drive away. And I forget what happens after that. Point is, they come back and there's nobody in the house. They come back with somebody's father. There's nobody in the house. And they go down to the basement, and there was significant evidence that... Now, what's interesting is one of the boy's sisters lived down in the basement. And there was significant evidence that whoever it was rifling through the shit of the sisters.
Oh, no.
While he was down there. And then, you know, there's nobody there. But here's the really creepy part about... There's two really creepy parts about this story. Well, three. So... That they closed the door and locked it when they came in, right? And they watched like 3 movies. So that means they were in there for hours with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't have got in after they came in. So he was already in there.
Right.
Another creepy thing is that one of the friends, he had to go use the restroom while they were up there. And he went out to the door. And he opened the door, the bedroom door, and he's like, guys, it's creepy out here. It's like creepy. The hallway's creepy. I don't feel right. And they're like, nah, just go. And the bathroom's downstairs. So alone, he went downstairs to use the bathroom, unknowing that there was a guy in there. But like I said, he had that sixth sense was going on, you know, where he kind of knows something's up. But of course, they don't think anything's wrong, so they ignore it. And when he was the one that was right all along, he comes back up and then they do whatever. And then here's the third really creepy part to me. The fact that the guy was probably in the basement the whole time, rifling through the sister shit, tells me that this dude, if it were not 4 teenage boys, and if it were a young girl instead, he was like up to no good. He was probably gonna abuse her or molest her or some shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's like the last creepy part of the story.
Oh.
So yeah, that's there's the Avery story. It's on the channel somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, because I have watched a lot of you guys' videos, but I've never heard that one before. I probably just watched a whole bunch the ones that those are mentioned in, but
yeah, that's one of my favorite. That could be my favorite. I always love that story. And always, whenever he's around, I always have him tell it.
It's such a, oh man, the feeling of violation and insecurity. It's,
And it's such a believable story too. Like
like there's
it's not so supernatural like some of the things that I've gone through. You know.
Yeah.
It's grounded and down to earth, and it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no good.
Yeah.
Anyway, your knocking story kind of had me on the same level, so we'll see. But yeah, if you're feeling those feelings, you're having those knocking. You heard something, silence the chimes, for God's sakes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's sort of weird how like some of these things come to me in waves. Like, I think I sort of just like space like because I know them when they first happen. Like I get them all, but like after it happens, I think my brain sort of like automatically tries to like expunge data, so to like help me like not be so like messed up. You know. But thank you guys for having me. This is really fun.
Feel free to call again. I mean, we want updates, so
yeah, send us some hot window action pictures. Yeah.
And get on Facebook probably after you hang up with us right now, and send me the link to the gray entity, and I'll watch that when it's noontime tomorrow and sunny.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you for
Thanks for
calling out.
joining us.
Of course.
You have a good
Good night.
one. Bye.
You too.